Understanding color is very important to be a good artist. I'm going to walk you through the steps to create your own basic color wheel. To start the project, you will need a piece of drawing paper, a pencil, a ruler, and something circular to trace. Try not to make your circular object too large because you will need to be able to fit 6 circles around the outside of your color wheel and 1 in the center. To begin the project, I'm going to trace 1 circle near the top of my paper. Next, I'm going to move my tracer down near the bottom and trace 1 on the left. And then I'm going to slide my tracer over to the right side and trace a 3rd one on the right. These 3 circles are arranged in a triangular format. I'm going to use my ruler to connect those 3 circles with a solid line. I will be filling in those 3 circles with my primary colors. I'm going to next trace a circle in between each set of 2 circles. Those 3 circles I'm going to connect again with my ruler, but this time I'm going to make the line a dashed line. And finally, I'm going to trace 1 circle in the center. For the next part of the project, you'll need something to use to fill in those circles. You could use some paints. Some watercolor paints would be best. We're only going to be using the red, the yellow, and the blue. If you don't have paints at home, you could use crayons, and you will do fine using the 3 primary color crayons to do your entire color wheel. Or you could use colored pencils, or if you have watercolor pencils at home, you could use those. Watercolor pencils allow you to color with the colored pencils and wet them to turn them into watercolor paints. To begin filling in my circles, I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to stir my yellow paint. I'm going to be filling in one of those 3 circles that is connected by the solid line. I'm going to rinse my paintbrush well, and I'm going to stir my red, and I'm going to fill in one of the other 2 circles that were connected by the solid line. And then I'm going to rinse my paintbrush and once again stir my blue and fill in that last circle that was connected by the solid line. Those are the 3 primary colors, and you can use combinations of the primary colors to make every other color imaginable. We're going to be mixing sets of 2 of those colors to make the color that's in between them. So I'm going to wet my yellow again, and I'm going to fill in my circle that's in between my yellow and my red. And now I'm going to wet my paintbrush and take some red and add it to my yellow, and I should get an orange. If you think your orange is a little too dark or a little too light, you can adjust it. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to mine. Now I'm going to use my yellow again to fill in between these two primary colors, yellow and blue. I'm going to put some yellow in the circle first, then wet my paintbrush and add some blue. And those two colors should mix to make a green. Again, if you think you have too much blue, add a little bit more yellow. If you think you have a little bit too much yellow, add a little bit more blue until you're happy with your color. And now I'm going to fill in this circle between the red and the blue. So I'm going to add some red in the circle. And then I'm going to wet my paintbrush and add some blue. And those two colors should mix to make violet. Sometimes people call that purple. Now we're going to fill in the circle in the center. What colors do you think you would place in that circle? If you guessed all three primary colors, you are right. I'm going to put some yellow and some red. The yellow and the red are going to mix to make an orange again. And then I'm going to add some blue. And all three primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, will mix together to make a brown. If you're not happy with your brown, you can adjust it by adding more yellow, more red, or more blue. So that's your basic color wheel. You have your three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, connected by the solid line triangle. And you have your three secondary colors, orange, green, and violet, connected by the dashed line on the triangle. And the circle in the middle, the brown, is the neutral. Remember that two primary colors make a secondary color. So yellow and red made our orange, red and blue made our violet, and yellow and blue made our green. And all three primary colors make our neutral color brown. I hope you enjoyed that. That should be a really good reference for any other projects you ever do with color.